And joining me live is Political Editor Andrew Clennell now. So Andrew, wow, the climate wars, they're back. So we've had members of the opposition on the program this morning who are telling us, look, they can't give us the detail before the election of their climate targets and what they're going to go with until they're in government because they need the resources of government to be able to do it properly. What do you make of all this?
Well, I think Peter Dutton's decided to go full retail on this and say people are more concerned about their power bills now than climate change. And that he's saying we can still get to net zero by 2050, but the government's not going to achieve the 43% target by 2030, so why should I commit to it? So, but it is going to raise some questions about his policy, obviously. But really, the target that matters from here is 2035 because the government has to come up to the UN with that target by next February. Peter Dutton actually said yesterday, I'll bet you they hold an election before next February so that they won't have to say what it is. But we can guarantee the Coalition's 2035 target will be lower, less ambitious than the government's. And it really does set up a war on this issue at the election. There's absolutely no doubt. And both sides can see some electoral advantage to the other side's position on it.
Yeah, doesn't it give Anthony Albanese, that sort of ammunition to say it's going to affect our relationship with the Pacific neighbours, it affects business confidence and all this pipeline of investment. It just seems like it would give him that fuel leading into the election. And does it mean we're going to an early election now?
Well, I think we're going to an early election anyway. I've been saying that for a while, so I could look at like a fool in November or December. But if you look at it logically, I think there's a high chance of that, simply because a rate cut doesn't appear to be coming anytime soon. By next May, if they went full term, people will have had enough and said, where's our rate cut? And you've got an opportunity to go in November, December and say, look, the rate cut will be coming soon. But outside of that, yes, it could potentially give Anthony Albanese a reason to go to the election and say we've got a clear choice here. But there's even some gamble in that, in the sense that people care more about climate change after the Black Summer bushfires and massive floods. When there's a cost of living crunch and there haven't been those sort of natural disasters recently, their concerns turn towards power bills. So I think Peter Dutton thinks he's got the right side of the cycle on that. He thinks he can win the suburbs with his position. And Anthony Albanese, well, wealthier people than normal voted for Labor last time and they voted for the Teals last time, which creates a wall to stop the Coalition getting into power effectively. Yeah. Anthony Albanese thinks this is a winner for him, Peter Dutton's position on this front. So we've seen many examples over the years. Just off air, you mentioned to me Tony Abbott and that period. I can think of George W. Bush saying, we're not going to do anything that will harm the American economy in terms of action on climate change. Donald Trump, probably a similar position. So that's the sort of contest we're looking at. We're rewinding 10 years. And the hope from Peter Dutton with his nuclear policy, which apparently appeals to young people, is that young people being upset with him perhaps on his stance on climate, he's hoping can be corrected with them thinking, well, he does have something of a solution long-term in nuclear. So it really does shape as a fascinating election now, a close election from where the polls are. And it's going to be some contest and quite a heated contest with both sides really pushing what they believe in.
Okay, Andrew Clennell, looking forward to more reactions through the day. Thanks, mate. Talk soon.